There's nothing more beautiful than vocal harmonies. The way the notes dance together and intertwine is absolutely gorgeous. But how can you learn to sing harmonies yourself? I'll show you. Ooh, let's go! 20 years ago, I'm waiting outside in the freezing cold outside my house in northern Kentucky, waiting for the school bus to come. But the bus ride to school is actually the highlight of my morning because it is 20 minutes of uninterrupted music listening time. Today, I'm listening to Green Day's Dookie album. But rather than listening in order, I give myself the treat of listening to Basket Case first. What I love about this track is how you can hear each one of the individual instruments as they come in, and they're so clear and crisp. And then they all smash together in this beautiful pop-punk glory. On this particular day, though, my Walkman is acting up a bit. The headphone jack that's connected between my headphones and the actual Walkman isn't totally seating right, and the headphones get unplugged just a little bit. Because they're unplugged, rather than hearing the full mix, I'm hearing this really weird kind of muffled sound of the track, almost like it's just in the back of a recording studio somewhere. Strangely, I can only hear the guitar like it's in a muffled room. Now, I can't hear any lyrics. Rather than hearing the main melody, about nothing and everything all at once, I hear a totally different voice sing a completely different part of the song that I've never heard before. Totally stunned, I keep the track playing. That's when it gets into the chorus lyrics during the intro. Again, rather than hearing Billy Joe's normal voice, I hear this really strange collection of notes. Sometimes I get myself unleashed. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. But then the bus goes over a bump, my headphones click into place, and the entire song comes crashing in together. What I don't realize at the time is that because my headphones were slightly disconnected, I was able to hear every part of the track that wasn't perfectly centered. Usually the producer will take the most important parts of a track and they'll pan everything to center so that you're able to hear everything in both ears. But on this track, the guitar and the backup vocals are slightly off center, which means that with my headphones slightly disconnected, I'm able to hear just the guitar and of course the vocal harmonies. And apparently this is really common. When the plug starts to slip out of the jack, very often it's the ground contact that breaks its connection first. With the ground open like this, both earpieces still get a signal, but now it's the different signal between the left and the right channels. Any signal that is in phase, in other words, completely centered, in both channels cancels out. So when recording engineers tend to place the lead vocal right in the middle, that's something that you won't hear. If you want to hear the harmonies in a song, but you can't actually find the harmonies track just on YouTube, it's actually really easy to do it yourself. Now, you'll need a computer and a stereo recording of the song like an MP3, so unfortunately you can't use a streaming service like Spotify for this. You can download a free audio editing software called Audacity, so once you have it installed, import the file that you want, then click on Effect, and find Vocal Remover right here. Now, you can mess with the settings, but actually the defaults should work just fine if you don't know what you're doing. Click OK, and you'll be able to hear the harmonies much easier. Just listen to this example using Basket Case. All I knew at the time was that I was hearing a hidden, secret part of music, and I was totally hooked. To learn to hear those harmonies on your own, even with the full music, check out my video singing course of Vocal Harmony Basics. Soon though, I'm tearing through all of my favorite records and purposely disconnecting my headphones so that I can start to hear all these hidden parts of music. Vocal harmonies are when two or more voices come together and combine to create a new and unique vocal melody. But how do you sing vocal harmonies? I break it down into a 3-step process. To learn these 3 steps in depth, plus how to actually start writing your own harmonies, check out my video singing course, Vocal Harmony Basics. On the bus that day, I didn't realize it, but I mistakenly unlocked the first secret to singing harmonies. Count how many voices are singing. This first step is easiest to do. I know it may sound silly, but the first thing to do is to actually tell whether there actually is a harmony or not, whether there's more than one voice singing 2 different things. In the first step, you'll recognize that there actually is a harmony and how many voices are singing. But keep in mind, this can be tricky because sometimes harmonies blend together so well. Try actively listening to the track and really trying to tell whether there are actually two different voices singing something. But if you don't hear it, don't worry. On the bus that day, I realized for the very first time that there were more than one voice singing the harmonies on that track that were dubbed together. I had no idea. It's like up until that moment, I was completely deaf to harmony. I mean, I knew there was something going on, but until my headphones came unplugged, I had no idea that there were two voices there. That leads us to the second secret of singing harmonies. When the headphones came unplugged on the bus, I was able to hear the harmony in complete isolation. But since I could only hear the harmony, the melody, the main melody, wasn't confusing me. In step 2, you need to recognize what the harmony notes are. In other words, what is the harmony line that you need to sing? In my case, hearing the harmony line was really easy because I couldn't hear anything else. That was the only thing I could hear. But that may be harder for you if you're not accustomed to listening to harmonies on their own. That's why YouTube is the most amazing resource for finding different harmonies. You don't have to mess with your headphone jack. You can literally just YouTube search any song that you want that has harmonies that you want to learn, and then add in the word harmonies. Often you'll find a track of just the backup vocals isolated completely.
Dance on the floor and around. We dance on the floor and around. We dance on the floor and around.
Which leads us to step number 3, the third secret to singing harmonies. The big temptation when learning how to sing harmonies is to actually mimic the original melody, the original vocal line. And that makes sense, right? I mean, you've heard the original vocal line like thousands of times, but you may have only heard the harmony line just a few times. Listen to the harmony over and over again until you know exactly what both parts are singing. Actually, it's incredibly easy to completely forget what harmony you're supposed to be singing and just revert back to the original melody line. Odds are you'll make that mistake without even realizing it. Try singing the harmony in isolation without the main melody first, and then slowly starting to sing along back again with the original melody. But be careful, the voice has a tendency to drift to kind of try to get back to that main part of the song. But it's incredibly important that you stay confident and kind of, in a way, just ignore what the main melody is singing. Every day after I discovered my headphone trick, I would go home and I would sing along with just the harmony by itself, completely in isolation. Then I would play the original song again and still try to remember where that harmony was until I could find its exact place in the music. But harmonies aren't just for vocal nerds like me. They can make any melody and any song sound absolutely amazing. But how can you find the right vocal harmony and start to sing it on your own? When you enroll in my course, Vocal Harmony Basics, you'll get 25 HD video lessons teaching you how to hear, sing, and even write your own vocal melodies. Get started here.